Welcome everybody, I am Michael Lingenfelter here with Rider Remedy, and today I have a workout for you riders with a hollow back. So if you find yourself with a little bit of an arch in your back, this workout is going to be perfect for you. This is going to be a 5-exercise workout that can be done right in your home. We don't need any equipment. We're really going to focus on our abdominals and our glutes today. We're gonna get a little bit of hamstring stuff in there, but these are gonna be the muscle groups that are gonna help you get out of that hollow back position. So we're gonna focus on strengthening those today. I want you to join me as we dive right into this workout. Let's go. Each of these exercises, our goal is going to be to hold and contract the muscles for 1 minute. During this workout, our goal is going to be to squeeze and contract our muscles in a very specific position for 1 minute. So I've got my watch here. I'm gonna set it for a minute every time we get into a position, and I want you to really focus in on what am I squeezing and being able to contract harder and harder in those positions. We're gonna start off first with our abdominals in a dead bug. You're gonna lay on your backs. I'm gonna bring my knees up to 90. Upper body comes up. What I'm doing here is I'm gonna be pushing into my legs here. I'm squeezing my stomach to push hard into my legs. At the same time, my legs are pushing into me. So I've got this squeezing of my legs pushing this direction and my upper body trying to come up off the ground, pushing that direction. So squeezing my stomach, I'm really engaging my upper abdominals and my lower abdominals, just holding this position. You can tuck your chin. The more I have my chin up, it's gonna be more difficult in the back of my neck. So I tuck my chin, I'm squeezing my stomach. My arms aren't doing much here. I'm feeling a burn in my stomach right now. If for some reason your neck bothers you, you can put a little pillow or a cushion behind you, and you can set it down if you get tired. And if it starts to really bother you, but I prefer you're here and you're squeezing and we're holding. If you can't hold it for a full 60 seconds, you can hold for 30 seconds. Take a nice deep breath, relax your back. We're gonna be doing a very similar exercise. It's gonna be a dead bug with a rotation. So I'm gonna start my watch. I'm gonna come back up, both legs at 90. This time, I'm just gonna do one hand across to the opposite leg. I'm gonna be pushing into that leg. So I'm trying to rotate, but my leg is stopping me, and that's where I'm pushing. So now it's a rotation that I'm really rotating and pushing into this leg, and my opposite leg can do one of two things. It can be straight, or it can be slightly bent, doesn't matter. I'm contracting and squeezing my abdominals to try to rotate me, so if my leg wasn't here, I'd keep going, but it's here. So I'm rotating here, and I'm pushing my leg into my hand. Your other hand can be right back here supporting your head. Squeezing and breathing. Again, I'm doing two things in opposition. My leg is coming across, I'm trying to lift my pelvis up, and my arm is coming across with my abdominals. Squeezing, breathing, holding here. Getting a real deep burn in my abdominals here, and relax. Whew. We're gonna do the other side in just a minute. When I'm in those positions, again, I'm really focused on what am I working here? I'm working my abdominals, so we're gonna squeeze those. Let's get going. Other leg, both legs up at 90. This time I'm taking the opposite hand on the opposite leg. I'm gonna place my other hand behind my head for a little bit of support. And again, I'm squeezing to try to rotate into that leg. And at the same time, I'm trying to do this with my pelvis, rotating it up and over. Both of those things are happening at the same time. And again, if you can't hold it for 60 seconds, back off to 30 seconds. Or just take a breather for a second and then get right back into it. I can soften this knee a little bit if I start feeling some tight stuff in my hip flexors or in my back. But again, just holding, focusing on what we are contracting. You're doing great. Almost there, stay in it. Keep squeezing, don't just hang out there. Stay mindful. There it is. Woo. These next two exercises are gonna focus on our glutes. Our glutes are really good at abducting and bringing our legs out to the side, or extending and bringing our legs behind us. The first one we're gonna do is a side laying lift. So I'm gonna lay on my side, bottom leg is gonna stay bent, top leg is gonna stay straight. You can either place your hand underneath your head like so, or you can just relax it down. I'm gonna start the clock. I'm gonna lift my leg parallel to the ground, and then I'm gonna come slightly above parallel. I'm squeezing the top of my hip, and I'm holding right here. We're gonna feel this right, if you can feel your hip bone, it's gonna be this muscle that's in between our hip bone and the top of our pelvis. We're squeezing and holding right here. You can bring your other hand down here for some stability, but again, I'm locking my leg out. I'm holding this position. I don't have a bent leg. We want to keep it locked out. I want you to just hold this position. We don't want our hip to be rotating open. Our foot should be parallel to the floor. I'm just holding. We also want to make sure that we're not rocked over like this. We want to make sure one hip is right on top of the other. Squeezing and holding here. Again, I should be just slightly above parallel with my leg to the ground. If I'm up any higher, I'm going to start arching or laterally bending my spine. We don't want that. We just want our hip to work. There's a minute. We're going to flip it over and do the other side. Bottom leg bent, top leg straight, one hip on top of the other. You can come here or you can come here. Minute starts, leg up to parallel. Then once I get to parallel, I'm going to push it up just an inch and I'm holding there. Just squeezing, contracting. This could be your glute, medius and minimus. They're really good at bringing your legs out to the side. Since you ride horses, bringing your legs out to the side is pretty important. It's one muscle that you probably use quite often, so it would be important for it to be strong. Just holding this position, not wiggling around. Again, this hand can come out in front of you for any kind of stability that you're looking for. If you feel like this isn't a challenge enough and for some reason you have ankle weights, this is going to be one that you can start to progress this exercise by putting an ankle weight around your ankle, or get creative, find something that weighs a little bit and figure out a way to tie it onto your leg. There we go. We're going to do glute bridges, which is going to extend our hip, both of our feet on the ground, hands on the ground. I'm starting the clock. Lifting the hips up off the ground, holding here. So I'm doing two things as I'm holding this position. I'm squeezing my glutes. That's the biggie. We're gonna squeeze our glutes. So I really want you to feel like you're pushing your feet into the ground and pushing your pelvis up by really contracting your glutes here. Now this is gonna be one you probably are gonna feel in your hamstrings, in the back of those legs too. So you're gonna be squeezing and holding the back of your legs and your butt. If you start to cramp, just back it off a little bit, come down a hair, and keep squeezing and holding. But you're ideally trying to push your feet down into the ground to squeeze your glutes to push your pelvis up to the ceiling. Our shoulders should be relaxed. I'm just gonna focus and hold here. You can really feel that burn in the back of the legs and the glutes. All right, one more here. We're gonna do something in our hamstrings. So I'm gonna have you stand up. You can place something near you if you wanna hold on to something, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand on one leg. I'm gonna squeeze the back of my leg to pull my heel up. And I'm gonna hold here. I'm actively squeezing the back of my leg. You wanna make sure that your knee is in line with your other knee and not out in front. We're not gonna get much of an activation here. We're not getting much of a challenge here. But we want our knee to be parallel with our leg. And I would prefer that you do have something that you're holding on to. So as I'm squeezing the back of my leg, I can start to bring my heel up little by little, see if I can get up any more. There we go. I'm squeezing and holding this position. Again, ideally holding onto a chair. And again, I can try to see, can I squeeze the back of my leg to pull my heel up anymore? Ooh, right there. And if you're like, man, this doesn't look hard at all, really try to contract and squeeze the back of your leg, holding this position, and I promise you, you will feel it. Again, I'm gonna see if I can get it up anymore. There we go. Increasing our mobility, our range of being able to move that knee joint. Bingo. Ooh, relax. We have one more side to go here. Again, holding on to something. Bringing that heel towards your butt by squeezing the back of your leg. Knees are parallel to each other. I feel like I'm in a good position, so I'm gonna start to challenge myself a little bit. Can I bring my heel up without moving anything, but squeezing the back of my leg? There it is. The higher you get that heel up, the more of a challenge it's gonna be for you. Now you're only gonna get that heel up, I only want you to get that heel up by squeezing the back of your leg, not by arching your back or pushing your hip back. Nothing moves, but being very specific about what we're challenging here. Squeezing the back of your leg. Holding tight. Again, see if you can pull that heel up anymore. Holding on to a shopping cart. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. Just grab something. This is not a balancing act, it's a strengthening act. We don't need to try to balance and strengthen at the same time. Maybe good for another day, but not for what we're doing here. There it is. There is the 5 exercises that you can do at home. If you find yourself having a hollowed back, share this with a friend that you know that may have these issues, or a student that has these issues. But this is going to be something that you can do to improve your position and strength in areas that you're probably weak based off your position of having a hollow back. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to continue to become the best rider you can be for as long as possible, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to continue to put out videos and allowing you to get the most out of your body so you can get the most out of your horse.